Alright, folks, let's get into it because the WNBA and NBC Sports are making moves that are shaking the league. The 2025 season is officially moving forward, and from the looks of it, they're doing it without a finalized deal with the players. That's right. The season is on, whether the players sign the CBA or not, and that raises some serious questions about strategy, negotiation, and the role of stars like Caitlin Clark in the league's future. Meanwhile, players like Breanna Stewart have been hinting at potential stunts or disruptions, maybe at NBA All-Star Weekend or in other high-profile events. The language coming from some of the star players is deliberate and fiery, signaling they're willing to escalate if things don't go their way. But here's the catch. The league isn't waiting around. NBC Sports has already launched promos for the season, showing confidence that they can deliver the product to fans regardless of the current standoff. So what does that mean in practical terms? Well, the league has Caitlin Clark, Paige Bueckers, Angel Reese, and a host of rookies ready to step in. They've built a roster of talent that can keep fans engaged, even if some of the top players decide not to participate. Tickets will still sell. Ratings will still matter. Merchandise will still move. The WNBA has contingency plans in place, which is standard in professional sports but particularly important here because the negotiation process has been public, drawn out, and tense. Now, let's talk about Caitlin Clark, arguably the biggest star in women's sports right now. Nike is dropping her sneaker line this year, but surprisingly, they won't run a Super Bowl commercial for her release. Think about that for a second. Caitlin Clark is the player who's been breaking records, selling out arenas, doubling TV ratings, and elevating the league's profile. And yet, when the opportunity for maximum exposure and promotion arises, she's being sidelined. Why is that? Why would the WNBA, Nike, or NBC hold back their most valuable asset? Is it fear? Is it caution? Or is it a calculated move to protect other marketing campaigns and control the narrative? Whatever the reason, it's baffling. Caitlin Clark outsells everyone else combined, and her presence alone drives revenue, yet she's not being promoted the way a talent of her caliber should be. This is a clear disconnect between talent and opportunity, and it raises larger questions about how the league prioritizes its stars and markets its brand. Now, let's dig into the CBA negotiations because this is where things get even more complex. The owners have repeatedly compromised. They increased the salary cap from $5 million to $5.65 million, which is a significant step in a league that's historically operated on a tight budget. They've agreed to team-provided housing in a limited capacity, acknowledging the financial pressures players face, particularly rookies and those at minimum salaries. The league has also added 2 developmental roster spots, creating more opportunities for players on the bubble to earn contracts and gain experience. And, importantly, they've agreed to protections for pregnant players, ensuring that athletes can't be traded or penalized while navigating family planning. So, when you look at the offer objectively, it's clear that the owners are negotiating in good faith. They've made tangible concessions to improve salaries, benefits, and overall working conditions. This is no small feat in a league that's historically struggled financially and relied heavily on NBA subsidies. The new proposal represents historic steps toward revenue sharing, tying player compensation directly to league growth, a model that could potentially double or triple salaries if the WNBA continues its momentum. Yet, despite all of this, from what we've seen, the players have not made any concessions. Caitlin Clark herself has publicly acknowledged that compromise is necessary, signaling that the league cannot move forward if every demand is held to the extreme. But so far, there's been no formal offer from the players in terms of compromise or adjustment. This creates a difficult situation because, while stars have the platform and leverage, not all players share the same financial cushion or endorsement deals. Many of the league's roster depend on guaranteed paychecks just to make ends meet. Here's where the tension becomes personal and structural at the same time. The top 10 or 15 players in the league, including someone like Breanna Stewart, have the luxury to hold out, negotiate aggressively, or even contemplate a strike. But the majority of players don't have that option. They need their paychecks to cover rent, living expenses, and personal commitments. This creates a fundamental imbalance in the union itself, where the voices of financially secure stars dominate the narrative, even if it doesn't reflect the needs of the broader roster. And timing is everything. Training camps are supposed to start in about 8 weeks. The league just came off a record-breaking season, largely due to Caitlin Clark's rookie year, which drove TV ratings up 48% compared to 2023. Nationally televised games averaged over 1.2 million viewers, with some matchups breaking 3 million. Attendance across arenas surged, merchandise sales skyrocketed, and corporate sponsors who had historically ignored women's basketball suddenly wanted a piece of the action. This was the breakthrough moment the WNBA had been building toward for 28 years. Momentum like this is rare in professional sports, especially for women's leagues. And now, with the possibility of a delayed or cancelled season due to negotiation standoffs, there's a risk that all of that hard-won attention and growth could evaporate. Once momentum is lost, it's extremely difficult to regain. Looking at the economics of the situation, the gap between NBA and WNBA salaries is stark. An NBA rookie on a minimum contract earns over $1 million, whereas the WNBA maximum salary in 2024 was just $241,000. The difference is massive, and players are justified in seeking more. But the WNBA is not the NBA. It's still building financial sustainability. The league generated roughly $200 million in revenue in 2024, compared to the NBA's $10 billion. This 50x difference explains why the WNBA cannot simply match NBA salaries without tying compensation to actual league growth. The revenue-sharing model on the table would position players to benefit significantly if the league continues its growth trajectory. Salaries would automatically increase as revenue increases, which is arguably a smarter long-term strategy than locking in inflated numbers that might not be sustainable. But it also requires trust in the league's ability to maintain momentum, which appears to be in question based on recent player statements. Then there's the issue of public perception and marketing. NBC, Peacock, and the WNBA are clearly showing that they can move on without certain players. They have a marketing plan, a roster strategy, and promotional campaigns ready to execute. And yet,